Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pairfect, the ultimate lifestyle show celebrating visionaries shaping our world. I'm Dinah Ventura, and today we're stepping into the vibrant world of creativity, collaboration, and sound innovation, where storytelling meets technology and passion fuels every beat and frame. Our guests today are the dynamic duo behind Wonder Collab Studios, a creative space designed to empower artists and bring ideas to life. One is a visionary entrepreneur and creative force, the founder and CEO of Wonder Collab Studios. The other is a powerhouse in music production, shaping the sound of the next generation of artists. Let's get to know the journey and how they continue to champion collaboration in the creative industry. Please welcome founder and CEO of Wonder Collab Studios, Jonathan Jojo Moll, and its director for music production, Kahlil Rufuerzo. Welcome to Pairfect.
Thank you. Thank
Hi.
you.
So, Wonder Collab.
Yeah.
First, tell me about the name. How did you come up with that name?
Okay. It was a very difficult name, as with any other ideation, I guess. We wanted something that's more positive.
Yes.
That incites curiosity. So initially, we were looking at Wonder Studios, and then there's a bit of an SEC concern kasi doon na hindi pasok because of the generaling name. So we had to incorporate yung collab, which is also something that we envision for the team as well, which is a collaborative culture. Yeah.
Right.
So that's we put together, and then that's how we came up with our company name.
Okay. So, but to backtrack a bit, how did that come about, your business? Like, what inspired the launch of Wonder Collab Studios?
Okay. We've been in the industry for about 10 years. And then, I guess, dumating yung panahon wherein I felt that we could contribute more. We wanted a process wherein we could call the shots, that this is how it should go.
Okay.
So, with that in mind, and then we decided that to venture out and took a gamble and see where this
A
goes.
huge risk.
A huge risk,
Yes,
very
it was
huge.
a huge risk. Yes.
Yeah. So
Very
both
huge.
of you were in advertising before you set up the business.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you were-
Advertising, audio production.
Audio production. And you were doing exactly what?
Uh,
What was your job?
Audio engineer.
Audio engineer.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you were with,
I was a music composer for commercials
Okay.
and AVPs.
and you were working together then.
For a while, we,
For one-
we
yeah.
were in one company, and then he went to another company.
Okay. And then 8 years ago, you decided, let's go for this.
Yeah, there was this part wherein let's just do it now or then regret it the rest of our lives. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much the same for me.
Okay, so it must have been really a passion for both of you to go for it
Oh,
and
definitely.
go on your own.
Definitely.
Okay. So, Kahlil,
Yeah.
with music and artist work planned for the future, how does your production background shape current branded projects?
Very unique ang music for advertising. As I always say, it's never music for music's sake. It's
Yeah.
music for a purpose. So for commercials, it's music to help sell the product.
Something, yeah.
So it should be reachable by the audience. It depends. What is your audience? So there's a purpose there. What's your audience? What's the sound that you want to get into? Is the messaging clear enough, etc., etc. And now towards artists, the thing that we can probably help with them is it's what makes Wonder unique. Is we can help them. We can help steer them towards the market that they want to reach. So if it's like binamadali lang siguro kung A, B market, gaano ba ka kintab yung tunog na kailangan mo? Is it, or are you towards a more massa kind of market? And paano
it will
natin
be
i-shape?
different, oh.
Yeah, paano natin i-shape yun? So, yeah.
So it must be like, what's, I mean, I have no idea what you do. So can you like give me an idea how you do it? For example, you have a brand that you're working on.
Mm-hmm.
What's the process? How does it get to the audience? What do you have to go through to get the message there?
For example, if it starts with the ad agency, for example,
Okay.
and a client product would want to brand. The brand manager would need something, a material to promote their product. So they go to the ad agency. The ad agency thinks of a strategy and thinks
Okay.
about of a storyboard or writes lyrics or copy for a jingle,
Okay.
and then they employ us
Okay.
to either do the jingle or do the music score or do the whole soundtrack of the television commercial that they're going to produce.
I see.
So that's where we are. That's a space where we are. We're an audio production company, and we do our best to support the story. If it's a television commercial, in the case of Jojo, for example, he'll record the voiceovers, direct the
Voice talents.
the voice talents, and then put together the sounds, the sound effects, and everything. Basically, everything you hear. So
It's you
that's
guys.
that's what we do.
I see. Okay. So, what makes Wonder's creative ecosystem different when it comes to building brand stories or original shows?
Okay, brand stories. One, we are a production to post house, so meaning our creative process is also aligned with our technical expertise. So we actually provide clients with an end-to-end solution. So we start with the recording during shoots, and then hopefully end up with the post-production. We can either get separate projects where it is just production or post. So, but with the, for example, if makakuha tayo ng end-to-end project, there is what we call the sound management, wherein the post talks to the production team. Ito yung mga kailangan ng post-production team. So there is also the creative process for me starts doon sa part na yun. Because there's also there's na-establish na yung collaboration from the start. Now this is what we need to get to achieve to get to this soundtrack.
Okay.
So yung genuine concern namin na for the clients to get good sound starts from the start of the project.
The start of a project.
Yeah.
And
So you're already
whereas
there.
for the most part, other companies are post.
I
So they do
see.
audio post.
Oh,
So
that's
in the case of Wonder
different.
Collab, we're there at the shoot, recording their sound. Like, simply put, may boom mic doon sa shoot, di ba? So that's pinaka-simpleng illustration of how that works. But for example, Jojo would make sure that our recordists would make sure that this line is recorded really well by the talent, because that would be a line that's very very important in post. So yun yung collaboration na hindi na iisipin ng producer yon tsaka director, kami na yung
Kayo
iisip.
yun talaga. How long does that normally take, that process? From start to finish?
It depends on the deadline.
Depends on that, yeah.
Okay, so minsan walang tulog.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true.
Minsan shoot ng Lunes,
Okay.
post ng Tuesday, yung mga ganon, air ng Friday, ganon. So it really depends on the timetable and the need. That's where the need of the client comes in. Kailangan meron na by this time yun. So gagawin talaga na.
Was there a time when like clients came few and far between? Like, was there ever an ebb in the
Um,
you know,
May mga
business?
projects in terms of nag-stall yung project. May mga projects na we started, let's say, natulog siya for 6 months. Because of, sometimes because of, we start projects na may dadaan muna sa FGD. And then if
What's
it doesn't
the
work, parang
FGD?
focus group discussion.
They test it. They test the material.
I see.
So if we start with a parang ideation of the project, we executed yung soundtrack niya. Sometimes yung projects get bad scores. So parang back to the
Back
Drawing
to
board.
drawing board sila.
square one, gano'n.
Yeah.
So sila ad agency.
Madulo.
In terms also of ebb of wherever of the industry.
Yeah.
Sometimes no yung meron bang if the projects are few and far between.
Yeah.
Maybe it is dependent sometimes on trends, for example, and it's not always. It's like it's not a hard and fast rule. For example, when the elections, like we're in an election season, and you'd know when you turn on the TV, there's just a lot of political advertisements, and brands tend to stop airing their commercials because it will just add to the clutter.
Yes.
So
I
para
see.
silang feeling nila siguro,
So,
parang
lalo,
sayang lang yung
ano
yung
muna?
investment nila. So napapahinga yung real advertising.
Nagmiminor sila, kumbaga.
Nagmiminor
I
sila.
see, I see.
Pero on our end, we also produce the political
Oo nga.
advertisements.
Work never stops. Parang
Work
yun.
never stops. So,
Yeah.
meron din na mga siguro 2 weeks na parang pahinga period to.
Okay.
In which case, pag mga isang linggo ka nagpapahinga, medyo parang you take the rest.
Yeah, that
Diba?
you can.
Pero kung mga 3 weeks ka nagpapahinga, kinakabahan ka na. So parang, teka, wala kami project. So, yun.
Okay. So, Jojo, let's talk about the space that you built. Diba? Parang,
Okay.
tell me about that journey from
Okay.
the beginning.
It was actually a very, very challenging period sa amin because we started with a very small space na we started with a condo. It was a gamble. At first, we did not have the funds to come up with a huge investment to get a big space. We were also treading lightly din naman, of course. But we started sa condo. It was a 36 square meter space. And then, we would just take in all the projects that we could. Na kung kayang tumatakbo yung space ng 24/7, we would. And then there was a time na hanggang one project lang tayo ngayon. Kahlil, doon ka muna sa coffee shop sa labas. Kasi doon muna yung working space mo. So up until na, of course, honestly, ipon ng ipon. And then, okay, meron na tayong additional capital to get a new space. And then the team was also growing at the time. And we wanted to provide a space for the team.
Okay.
Kasi hindi naman pwedeng panay coffee shops lang sila. Okay. So we scouted around Makati within the proximity ng audio production space, sabihin na natin sa Makati. So we found this space yung sa along Rada. So that's where we started the studio. And then it was very risky at the time because no one expected na magpa-pandemic. Yeah. We got the studio, actually, we moved in 2019.
October of 2019. We launched December 2019.
And then March.
When March happened.
March happened.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened
Lockdown.
then?
And we,
What did you do?
But the nice thing about it is, as Jojo mentioned, so there are 3 managing partners. It's Jojo, myself, and Celine Ange. And Celine Ange was actually the one in the coffee shop. Sometimes I'm in the coffee shop as well. But the studio too, so to speak, is it was in my house.
Okay.
Because I needed a space also to compose
your-
the music
yeah,
for the etc. for my equipment, right? So in other words, we were work from home.
Even
Before work from home, we knew how to work remotely,
I see.
even before the pandemic. So when the pandemic hit, it was comfortable for us.
Yeah.
There was a discomfort because we just invested in a space,
yun.
Yeah.
diba? So pero we knew that we can pivot really well. So we didn't we didn't really need to pivot much.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Because we were all on our laptops,
Yeah.
where we can
Oo nga.
produce
Everyone-
strike anywhere.
Yeah,
Strike
everyone was
anywhere.
mobile na
Oh,
Yeah.
at that time.
So now, how does it work now? You have a bigger studio. You just opened Studio 8. What is Studio 8?
Okay, we call Studio 8 the Dolby Atmos Studio. So, as an engineer, we wanted to also upskill
Yes.
yung expertise namin. So the next best thing would be, of course, to work with surround sound, so immersive. I believe doon na rin papunta yung mundo. And that's also the best way to... It's a new playground for us. It's the best way for us to explore new ways of designing, new ways of mixing, because hindi lang limited sa film yung immersive, yung nakikita natin na Dolby Atmos sa cinema,
Yes.
that also applies to music already.
Oh,
So there are music tracks that are mixed in Dolby Atmos.
okay.
So for example, yung Apple spatial sound, spatial audio, it's basically one way of calling it, but it's surround, it's immersive na rin.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
it's as if you're listening to the artist and you're right in the middle of the band. So imagine
It's
yourself.
like, yes.
Yes, and the acoustic guitars on your left,
okay.
the background singers are at the at the back, etc., etc.
Okay, so tell me more about that after a short break.
Okay.
This break is brought to you by Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart. Live more today. Union Bank. It starts with you.
Usapang OFW is the show that honors the journeys of our modern-day heroes, our OFWs. Join Chingby Fernandez, John Dodson, and Rafi Ayang every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. to hear the real stories behind the sacrifices. Watch it live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok.
Want to hear from thought leaders shaping our world? Straight Talk with Chito Lazada and Ted Montalibano dives into leadership, politics, and business every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Catch conversation live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok.
Ready for the hot takes of today's biggest issues? Hot Patatas with Vernon Velasco and Carl Magadia delivers the news that matters. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Tune in live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok, where the real talk happens.
Utol, once just a colloquial term for a brother or sister. Today, the same term stands for a better option to your transportation needs. Unified Transport Operations League, or better known as UTOL, was established to give you an alternative to ride-hailing, with the concept of availing the service with care and compassion, as if it was rendered by your own sibling. Now, who would you prefer to drive you home? Utol, the ride-hailing app to consider.
Madaling sabihin mo negosyo, pero ang dami mong alalahanin dyan. Saan kukuha ng mga sangkap, saan ang pwesto mo, trabahante, lalo na, ano ang puhunan na gagamitin mo. Ang ating mga kababayan na nagsusumikap ang nangangailangan ng gabay at patnubay para mas handang harapin ang mga pagsubok ng pangangalakal. Ang Kaunlad Pinoy Party List ang tunay niyong kadamay. Kasama niyo kami sa pag-unlad. Bawat Pilipino, dapat may negosyo.
Kaunlad Pinoy Party List number 133.
Hello, we're back on Pairfect with the founders of Wonder Collab, Kahlil and Jojo. Okay, so we were talking about your latest technology that you have in your new studio, Studio 8. So,
Yeah, Dolby Atmos. It was a very risky investment for us as well, but it was the next step for our studio and for the teams. There are only, I believe, there are only 4 in the Philippines right now.
with that kind of,
So with that kind of
Yes.
space.
Nice.
So we're happy to be part of that roster right now. Dolby's right now being very aggressive to market their technology to different businesses. I believe yung Apple Spatial Audio is also in partnership with Dolby. So they're also venturing into Dolby Home because yung streaming platform is a very good business right now for
Yes.
Netflix, Amazon Prime. And then sometimes if you would want to get a better experience dun sa shows, better if yung surrounding is immersive. So that is the new playground that we have.
yeah.
Plus
How
yung-
does that expand your business or the services that you offer?
We would be catering to a different clientele at this point. So, like what Kahlil said mentioned before earlier, is that we previously focused on branded content,
Yes,
branded
that's
materials.
Ads.
Ads.
Okay, commercials.
Yes, and now we are also venturing into unbranded.
Unbranded.
Yeah,
Which means
any project that does not involve products, yung let's say films, music, mixing, documentaries.
music, yeah.
Nice, nice.
So that's a very good space to showcase our audio expertise.
We've also, for the past couple of years, we've been able to work on a couple of series, a TV series or streaming series for Netflix, for Prime Video, and also a couple movies that came out recently.
Wow, that
And
must be very exciting for you.
it was very exciting. It's nice to do long formats for a change, and it really it really enables us to express our own creative juices towards these projects. And now with Studio 8, we'd be able to add more services to it. So we'd be able to mix better.
Yeah.
We'd be able to be more creative with the sound that we want to what we want to produce.
So how big is your team now?
Right now we're about 24, 20.
Yeah, about
ganun. 24,
And
25.
How big is the size of your clientele now?
it's pretty big. It's pretty big.
I mean, we can't complain at this point. But of course, we would want
That's
more.
good. Yeah.
We would want more.
It's a good size of clientele. It's the quality of our clients are they enable us to
Yeah.
to collaborate with them,
Yes.
and we're grateful for their business and for the trust that they give us.
Speaking of collaborators, di ba? How do you make them feel supported or involved in the process?
You mean the clients or the
The
team?
clients.
The clients.
Clients, okay. First off, we start by how we position our team, our team members. So that once you get our services, we are actually experts. We know our craft. So there is a communication from the sound engineer to the client on how to get to the best possible soundtrack. There should be a good understanding of where the material will go,
Okay.
kung sino yung kausap niyang audience. So may batuhan na kaagad doon pa lang sa process na yon. Hindi lang, I've been continuously telling the team na hindi lang tayo dito taga-pindot or taga-pindot ng record.
Yeah.
Oo. So there is really the talk to your clients. Like
Yes.
ask them what they need para you can understand better and then
Give them what they need.
provide the best soundtrack na kaya mo.
And for the creative.
Yeah, on the
part.
creative side, we it's basically the same. We try to provide maybe left field opinions on how, for example, for music, right? So if there's a music peg that they give, we try to give. How about we go this direction, but still delivering on the direction that they would want to take, hoping that at the very least they would have choices. So and clients would feel that we are actually really thinking about their projects and not just pressing
Yeah,
play
buttons.
and pressing buttons.
That's good. So tell me about, you've been in this industry for almost a decade now, running your own business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Much longer in the industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So any observations about the way it's going? I mean, the direction that it's going to take.
Advertising is slowly also evolving. Technology is also catching up. Kahlil has been in the industry more in like
Yeah.
mas
that's
lamang siya ng
over 20 years.
yeah.
Yes.
But from traditional, the industry has been focused before on traditional media, and now it's also moving into, since the advent of social media.
So streaming and
Streaming,
social
Digital,
Yeah,
social
nagbabago
media.
yun.
Yeah.
And now, advertising is also adjusting according to what the audience is looking for.
Yeah.
So right now, for example, there are projects na long format na perhaps may be branded already.
Branded na long format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So may
May ganun
may
na.
mga parang commercial sa gitna na hindi mo nahalata.
So
Di ba?
ganun.
Parang ganun. And there's also the influx of many influencers.
Yes.
Right.
So there's the advertising industry is shifting
Content.
Yeah, shifting
towards on content. And but one of the observations that we have had the past couple of years was in as much as there is content or paid influencers, sometimes the influencers get so popular that they are drawn in towards traditional advertising. Sila yung nagiging endorser.
Oo nga. oo
Yeah.
nga, oo nga.
So baliktad, nagiging baliktad siya. So
Mm-hmm.
parang ganun yung nangyayari, no. So we are involved both ways. No, so
Galing.
advertising is still there.
Oo.
No, so nag-iiba ng medium o nagkakaroon ng merong interesting na 6-seconder.
Yeah, before sa
commercials.
YouTube, yes.
Oh, di ba? Yung mga
I'll watch out.
Yung mga tinatawag nilang unskippables.
yung unskippable, di ba? So ano gagawin mo ngayon? So minsan creative sila doon sa 6 seconds na yun.
You
So
have to
there-
put it all in.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So-
Everything in 6 seconds.
Oh, wow.
It's very interesting. We are living in interesting times,
I
and
know.
there were previously held bounds or rules. For example, this is a visual example. For example, pag ang video nun laging palapad eh.
Oo nga.
'Di ba? So parang pag nag-shoot ka, laging palapad dapat. Ngayon nagre-release na nakatayo. Kasi ganun yung
Vertical,
cellphone
yes.
eh.
Yeah.
That's how you would
'Di ba?
watch
Paano ka mag-angle nun? 'Di ba? Yung mga ganung bagay, no? So ganun din yun with audio, 'di ba? So how would you adjust? This is specifically for social media, so it will needs to sound good on a cellphone. Oh, 'di ba? So paano ngayon yung wala na yung bass mo? 'Di ba? So how would this sound like? So yun yung mga interesting challenges on how yun yung mga bagay na kinailangan din namin to adjust to.
Yeah, you had to learn also
Yeah.
along the way. Okay.
There was this project actually before with a particular group, Serve Manila. So during the pandemic, they had to come up with a way of providing, because bawal yung
Tourism.
travel at
Yeah.
that time. Bawal yung travel at that time.
Yes. So,
But they had this ingenious idea na na why not bring the festivals to the people?
So like Kadayawan Festival,
Yeah.
Ati-Atihan.
online.
Online,
Yes.
yes, they
Ah,
did that.
yeah, I
So I think it was in
remember.
partnership with
With the Foreign Affairs.
Yeah.
DFA.
So kami yung natap ng Serve Manila to give them a binaural experience.
Auditory experience.
Yeah. So yun naman yung ginawa namin. We're in the sounds, we're moving talaga. So it was a requirement that you experience it using headphones.
So think of it as a really good radio play. That pag pumasok ka sa sa ati-atihan, pumikit ka, anong naririnig mo?
Galing.
So
So that
pag
was
dumaan yung parade, maririnig mo rin dun sa headphones mo dumadaan yung parade na yun. Tapos merong
Background,
Yeah.
other sounds that
Yes.
you
Yeah.
would know.
Yes.
The idea talaga would be to put you in the location,
In the scene.
space. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yun naman.
Galing. So,
was a
it's
very-
really storytelling via sound talaga.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, back to running a business. You've been working together for 8 years,
Yes.
right? And so how would you define your managing
Managing the
management
business?
style? Yeah.
Of course, as with managing the business, you continually evolve. Naman. It's one thing to manage artists because, as you know, artists are they're a bunch. Iba yung pag-handle ng artists.
Okay.
But at the same time, you also have corporate clients din naman. So
Iba
you have
rin
to,
yun.
it's the balance between both eh. So kami naman ni Kahlil as an artist na and then we would also need to wear two hats basically, management, tsaka artist hat.
Yeah.
So decide on how the soundtrack should sound, but is it going to be cost efficient? Mga those things. I guess we learn as we grow.
Yeah.
We learn as we grow, and then we've also adapted yung how things are going on right now with yung, let's say, hybrid.
Oo nga.
So
Yeah.
yun, adjustments to that, like how do you go about deliverables? Na we're very particular with.
Did you ever go
Deadlines.
through like very challenging times that really tested you both?
As with any
As with
Yeah.
company, so there are
Oh, how did you
because
handle-
there are
how did
people
you
involved. Sometimes the
overcome?
complications come from relationships, people, and if you're dealing with creatives, also there are creative differences that need to be addressed.
Yes.
But we just really need to focus on what the direction that we want to take, where we want to take Wonder. And that's really Jojo, where he wants to take Wonder, and I'm here to support. And really not doubting also the heart of why we
Yeah.
put
Do what
this
we
up,
do.
why
In
we
the
do what we
first
do.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the first place.
So
it's
that
really,
dream is still there, I
Yes.
suppose.
yes,
very
yes,
much
yes.
alive.
Where do you want to take it?
I want to take my team to be known also on a global stage. Not only known in the Philippines, strong in the Philippines, definitely, but to also be recognized outside. Because I believe yung team ko can contribute to providing a good soundtrack naman. If it's, for
World-class,
example,
ganun.
world class, yes. Definitely.
Are you getting there? Are you getting international clients now? Open.
We're open to it, but we've had an Australian client last year actually for a film
For a
project.
film
wow.
project. Yeah.
Yes.
So we
Okay.
did part of the audio production of an Australian film, and that was eye-opening for us as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
We learned a lot with how international productions, or the standards of international productions, etc.,
Yeah.
versus the Filipino standards. So that's not meant to disparage the Filipino standards. It's just different.
Different lang,
It's just
pero
different,
same
so-
level of
And also
quality.
trying to
Yes.
and
Yes.
also trying to understand not just their language. I mean, it's English, but how they express themselves creatively.
Yeah, that's different.
We have
It's
different
different.
terms. Yes,
Yeah,
we
they have different terms.
And you know, yung DOT pala natin, tourism, di ba they're like having this campaign where they're encouraging film companies from other countries to film.
Yes.
Sa FTC,
Yes.
FTC, yeah, I believe
Yeah,
so.
di ba? So
Yes,
parang
and
I think
hopefully-
maybe you'll have that, the service that you offer will be very
Yes,
useful for
hopefully.
those.
Yes, and it would be helpful even for our production houses here in the Philippines, the
Yes,
video production
exactly.
houses, and it will definitely and eventually it will give jobs even to the PAs,
Yun,
to
galing,
the
di ba?
to the
Sana
line.
nga mag-ano yun.
Yeah.
Sana
We're
mag-prosper.
actually rooting for that.
Yeah. Okay, so any immediate plans or plans for the rest of the year for Wonder Collab?
Yeah, we are also expanding into what we call Wonder Entertainment, wherein we focus some of our efforts into unbranded material, which is makipag-collaborate kami sa mga artists,
Okay, artists. So like
like musicians.
musicians.
Yes.
All right.
So, yeah, it's an exploratory venture for us na perhaps producing songs, so mixing soundtrack, and then eventually, but we do provide na yung immersive mixing wherein if there is this demand right now, I believe, na yung old tracks are going to be
Remixed.
remixed to immersive. So we also provide that service
What do
already.
you mean? Example.
For example, you can play as Jojo mentioned earlier, dun sa mga Apple sa Apple Spatial. Yung yung Rocket Man ni who's this?
Elton John.
Elton John.
Elton John, sorry.
So si Elton John, yung Rocket Man was produced what? Late 70s, early 80s siguro. But they remixed it sa Atmos. So you actually hear, like I mentioned, the acoustic guitar on the left, but it was produced before pa. So they actually remixed it. They dug up the old stems of the recording and remastered everything.
Wow.
So now you feel like you're in the middle of Elton John's band.
Galing. That's never been done before. Only the technology now can allow that to happen.
I think for a couple of years, but it's a recent innovation, and it's basically a recent innovation of Dolby Atmos
Nice.
as well.
Oh, so you can do so many things, no?
Yes.
There's so many, you need so many hours in mixing. Like right now, there's actually no standard way to go about it. Because for example, when you mix in Atmos, you have the least amount of speakers in Atmos are 7 surround basically, and then you have 4 overhead. So ang question would be, saan papasok yung gitara? Saan lalabas? Or saan lalabas rather yung gitara? Saan lalabas yung background vocals? No one has, it's blank canvas pa at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Because the technology is new.
Yeah.
So ngayon, nilalaro talaga lahat. Which is very, very exciting.
Exciting
actually.
for you guys.
Because there's a lot of possibilities.
Like yung na mention ni Kalina yung sa song ni Elton John na may strings na from front, gaganon sa'yo.
Pupunta sa likod mo.
Tapos you sort of feel it, they're
Wow.
really coming at you.
Yeah.
So parang,
Immersive talaga.
Yeah. So that kind of, you just put on your headphones and then that will be the experience for the listener.
yes, because from
Once you put it all together, parang ganon.
yes, because one of our jobs basically is to how does the regular person experience yung immersive is ang pinaka immediate would be yung headphones. So it's binaural mixing. So once we mix the studio, it should also translate properly into the headphones.
I see.
So ganun naman siya. So that's
Okay.
if done properly, you also experience a similar soundscape, so to speak,
Yeah.
doon sa
Nice
headphones.
soundscape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So ganun siya.
Why are you both so fascinated with sound? Like, when
Oh,
did that
okay.
start? Like,
And
I mean, not everybody,
Yeah.
di ba, would devote
Ako,
like
syempre,
their entire lives into
to
that.
sound.
Yeah.
Oh, I was a music guy ako since
You were
bata.
okay.
So composer talaga ako and arranger. And I was never part even in high school and college. I did not have a real like band. So I had a college band, but the idea of being an artist in the music industry, it was kind of a dream, but it did not appeal to me so much.
Okay.
What appealed to me better was music production. So how to put together all the instruments, to working in a studio. So I felt that was really my calling
Yeah.
in terms of being a musician. And so that's why when Jojo mentioned nga 20 years, I've been here almost 25 years also already in advertising audio production. So when I discovered meron palang advertising audio production, so parang tuwan-tuwa na ako for that. So yun na rin yun. And it's
Was that a course in college? Or
No,
something?
no, no,
What
no.
did you take up?
Interdisciplinary studies.
Ateneo ka?
So, wala. Siya nga rin, hindi naman siya...
Ateneo
yeah,
ka din?
Ateneo, yeah, I finished in Ateneo Dinaga. I took up management.
I see.
Yeah.
So, walang pero actually, yung sasabi ko, blessed ng mga bata ngayon because there's music business in Mint, there's CSB, music production. Na,
actually.
nung panahon naman natin nung college, wala naman.
Oo.
So, it's just that I was blessed also with a dad who supported my passion also kasi musician din siya eh. So he supported me
talaga?
with equipment.
Was he a professional musician?
No, he was a businessman, but he conducted the choir. He's a pianist in the home, etc. So yun. So kaya may mga equipment ako na hindi lahat ng mga
Peers.
teenagers meron kasi binili niya talaga yun for me. So I'm very grateful. And that actually started my music production life. And until now actually very pa rin yung what would make this score or this jingle get approved by client. What do they really want? So there's that kind of itch that does not
that-
go away.
Yeah,
Na,
never dies.
na parang meron ding creativity na yung makuha ko yung gusto ng kliyente. Especially pag di ma-express ng kliyente yung gusto niya.
Yeah, and then nabigay mo.
Nabigay,
Tas,
oo.
ang sarap ng
Yes,
feeling.
yes. So yun yung passion from my end.
There's just, yun, parang ganun to add to that. Siguro yung advertising at one point is parang creativity within the box.
Yeah.
Because may limitations ka as to hanggang saan ka lang pwede mag-design, mag-communicate.
Una-una, 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's one. So, yun naman, I guess, passion for audio. Mahilig na talaga ako sa music ever since. And then, it's mostly, I would say na we are actually solutions provider who specialize in audio.
Okay.
So, since that's why, hindi lang naman natatapos yung trabaho namin sa pagiging sound engineer, that's why we also expanded into production sound. Because we think that good sound should start from the source.
Yes.
So,
Tama naman.
ganun siya. So, end-to-end dapat siya. Kaya ngayon, with additional na since yung passion, where can we take this next? So, what is the technology right now offering us? Kaya talagang sugal din kami dito sa Atmos. Pikit mata na lang, sige, bahala na.
Was that like a very expensive investment
expensive.
talaga. Okay. But you have to, you felt that you had to.
Yes, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
Next
and just
generation.
as you mentioned, it is a natural next step eh. Ano yung next step natin talaga?
So yes, so we end with that thought na what's next for Wonder Collab? What do you plan to do for the next
We want to,
year or so?
the organization has been positioned as a supplier for, and we are very passionate at what we do, to provide service to our clients. But we also, at this point, we also would like to explore yung providing naman the audio. So yung, as with being collaborative, we want to be able to be in communication with our clients as to how to come up with a great soundtrack for their projects. Expanding is that we are not limiting ourselves to, we are expanding to immersive. The storytelling when it comes to immersive sound is going to be very different because you have to address it from the start. Like once you shoot a film, there should that be in mind already, like how would the sound go around. So we would like to provide that to our clients. Technology, sa technology naman, since my demand right now for that kind of service, yun naman yung, that's why we invested in this kind of services to be able to provide the clients na naghahanap. So yun, and as well with, we are open to challenges talaga. Kaya nga yung content creation as well, or creating music, is a new kind of challenge for the team.
Yeah.
And something that my team is very prepared.
Excites you both.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's more of supplier than contribution. We'd like to come up with our own material and music eventually.
Nice. Something to look forward to. So, any message you would like to share with our viewers about the sound storytelling or something? What would you
There's
like to
always
say?
a story to tell, and there are many ways to tell it, and sound is a very interesting way to do it. And as we mentioned, for example, yun nga, ati-atihan, pwede mo ikwento ng walang visual.
Oo.
Pwedeng galing sa sa audio lang. And there are things that we can produce that, and just the encouragement to be creative for everyone.
Yeah.
And imaginative. And at the same time, what's the purpose for it?
Yes.
So, hindi
Oo nga.
yeah, what's the
We
purpose
should-
for it? Ano yung pwede natin gawin? Saan natin pwede to gamitin para tayo makakatulong using this kind of creativity?
Okay.
Yeah. And then one other thing is that we really think that sound is a part communication. It's a part of our culture and how we basically relate to one another as human beings. So
True.
there's that as well. So yung sabi ko nga, if buhay yung, there's this part wherein mamamatay ba yung sound because of AI at one point?
My gosh. Oh.
That's a different.
That's a different, yeah. But as long as ang listeners mo ay tao, I think you're safe.
Yeah.
Yan.
Okay. Something to think
For
about.
our next
For the
episode.
next episode,
Let's talk about AI.
so yun.
Okay.
As well as yung preservation of sound din.
Nga.
Yun, it's through recordings. So yung mga projects na, we're looking for projects now wherein we could actually record yung old language.
Ganda. Oo,
And help with
mag-preserve,
that
no?
as well.
You can work with our mga
Yeah,
institutions that
Yes,
are
we're looking for
preserving
projects na mga ganun.
Archives.
history
To
and
archive,
heritage.
basically.
Okay, so I hope they are listening or
Yeah.
watching. Okay, so thank you, a huge thank you to both of you,
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Jojo and Kahlil, for sharing your journey with us today. It's inspiring to see how Wonder Collab Studios is redefining creative collaboration, merging storytelling, technology, and heart. From empowering brands to paving the way for future artists and original content, their vision is a reminder that creativity truly thrives in community. To our viewers, your ideas matter. Whether you're building, dreaming, or collaborating, keep showing up and shaping your story. This is Dinah Ventura reminding you to stay curious, stay bold, and keep creating your own perfect path. Until next time, take care and keep inspiring.
Ba't iba-iba ang distribution charge sa residential customers? Sa pagko-compute ng distribution rate para sa residential customers, sumusunod tayo sa tinatawag na socialized structure. Ibig sabihin, kung mas mababa ang konsumo, mas mababa din ang charge. Itong ganitong klaseng socialized structure ay ginawa ng gobyerno natin upang makaagapay naman yung mga kababayan natin na titipid o di naman kaya ay hindi kalakihan ang konsumo ng kuryente dahil limitado ang kanilang appliances sa bahay. Ang lifeline customers naman natin na 100 kilowatt hours and below, may kaukulang discount rin na nag-a-apply sa kabuang bill. So that includes of course yung distribution charge rin. Para sa ibang katanungan, ask Manong Joe lang. Hanggang sa muli mga katribo.